The stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm at the radio station today, and we're going live shortly. I'm going to start with talking about how Trump won the war with Iran, and there's just a complete breakdown going on in Iran that I'm going to cover. The president of Iran is in a complete panic with some audio that has leaked out. You know, and people forget Israel have so many Mossad agents embedded in Iran. Half the government is Mossad, probably. So a lot of information's coming out. So we're going to cover all of that. We're going to take your calls as well. We have so much to cover. Okay, less than a minute, we'll be live. And oh man, there's never been a war fought like this before by the United States, where we've just won so easily and so quickly. And of course, the left, they can't handle. What do you mean he won? How could he win? There's no, you know. All right, here we go. All righty, welcome everyone. I'm Brian. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show. It sounds a little weird, Mike, in my headphones. Am I in audition or something? I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, there we are. Okay, now I'm in program. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And we've got a lot to cover today. And it's all good news. It's all very good news. I know that if you get your news and information from NBC and all those fake news places, it sounds like a terrible time is going on. It is a terrible time if you are a Democrat. And there's some leaked audio that has been reported on in Israel. Mossad have so many embedded spies inside Iran that at all different levels, right? We heard that a lot of the tracking that was done in the beginning of the war, where we were able to target senior leadership, is because Mossad has been embedded for decades in Iran, and these lunatics in Iran, they go to the dentist, and all of a sudden a Mossad agent is the dentist. And they go in for dental work, they go in for fillings, and boom, they get some kind of monitoring device embedded in their teeth, and that's, all these things. And I imagine Mossad is pretty embedded in their government. And it's possible that half the government of Iran is Mossad. I would not be surprised. But there was a story that was broadcast on Israeli television, on their news, C14 out of Israel, and I'm just going to tell you what it says because it's in Hebrew, okay? The audio's in Hebrew, so it won't make a lot of sense, I could read. I guess I could read the subtitles, but I'm not going to do that. But the Iranian president, it's leaked audio of the Iranian president, and you got to remember, Trump let the Iranian president live. He killed all these other leaders, military and civilian, the supreme leader, all of them. But they let the president of Iran live because they thought he was someone they could deal with. And then last weekend, we had those meetings on Saturday, and nothing came of them, which was insane, right? I mean, you look at it, they've lost everything. And this blockade that President Trump has put up is having such a positive effect on our war effort. So here's what the leaked audio says. It's leaked audio of the Iranian president, and it's after the negotiation that didn't come to any agreement with J.D. Vance on Saturday returned to Iran. And they described the Iranian president as being in a panic. He said this in his panic state: "We are weeks away from collapse. That'd be the United States, Donald Trump, they are cutting off our main source of income. I don't know how we will pay salaries." So Iran is, their government at least, is out of money. And when he says salaries, that means payroll. And, you know, a lot of these people in the Iranian government probably don't want to be there doing the work they're doing, or maybe they do, I don't know. But the main reason they stick around is because they're getting paid. So now with the blockade, they have no money coming in. Their money supplies from around the world are being cut off because they cannot do international banking. Scott Bessa gave an interview yesterday. They're tracking down Iranian accounts and transactions all over the world, including in China, and shutting down the bank accounts around the world. And they're using tariffs with these countries that if they don't shut down the Iranian flow of money, that there'll be 50% tariffs on their country. So they're all doing it. And they don't they're so down and out, they don't have enough money to make payroll. And when he says, I don't know how we will pay salaries, I wonder who he means that for. Is it the Revolutionary Guard? Is it the Army? You know, the Revolutionary Guards, their secret police that terrorize people. So is it all those who are, you know, President Trump talked about this a couple weeks ago, that the reason there hasn't been an uprising in Iran is because the people are still scared of the Revolutionary Guard. I get that. They sound pretty scary. But when he says they can't pay salaries, I'm assuming those guys are a part of it. So if they don't pay these terrorizers in their own country, if they don't pay them, are they going to still continue to terrorize the people? You know, will the government of Iran, when they have no cash, will they be able to operate? And you know, this blockade, everyone's missing the big picture. There's two big stories in the news right now. What Trump is doing with Iran and Swalwell. And on both stories, everyone's missing in the media the big picture. And what President Trump is doing is really a Mideast peace process, right? You know, every president that I can remember, they've always been trying to have Mideast peace summits with different countries, different groups, different leaders. None of them have come together. And the reason that none of them have worked is because Iran was always there in the background, causing, funding, planning, backing terrorism. And if things got rough on them, they would tighten up the Strait of Hormuz or slow down the production, intimidate other countries to slow down oil production. And they would use the economics of gas prices to get their way on top of killing people and blowing people up. And all these peace negotiations and summit meetings over the years have all been a waste of time because no one was ever talking to the real people, and that's the Iranians. And, you know, Obama, I guess he had a different tactic. He thought if he gave them all that money that was frozen in Iranian bank accounts after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, and not only did he give them the money back, he gave them the money back with interest. Can you imagine? He thought that he could buy them off, I guess, or maybe he was just helping out his buddies over there. I don't know. But obviously that didn't work. You know, no matter what type of negotiations past presidential administrations have had, there's never been anything that's brought any peace in the Middle East. And what President Trump is doing is a whole nother strategy. He's cutting the head off the snake of all the Islamic terrorism, and that's Iran. And this blockade, not only is the blockade a new tactic, it's working, and they're doing it. They turned away a bunch of ships yesterday that were trying to sail out of the Persian Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz, filled with Iranian oil, and they sent them back. They caught at least one or two that were trying to pass themselves off as having oil from another country other than Iran. And of course, they know, with all the technology we have and everything, they know exactly what's going on, and they're able to tell, and they know, and they just are out of money. And when you are a terrorist regime, and you are basically leading a form of theocratic dictatorship over there, and you don't have money to pay the salaries of your military and your secret police and your government officials, you're going to start to lose support, because a lot of your support isn't real organic support. It's paid for. It's bought support, and they're going to lose the ability to do that real quick. According to the leaked audio of the Iranian president, and those who listened to it said he is in a panic. He is in total freakout mode, probably because everyone around him that he used to work with are dead. And he's afraid he's going to be next, the Iranian president. And he very well could be. So that's the state of things right now. So we'll take our first break. When we get back, there's so much more to talk about. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about the Sloman's Home Security offer. When you call and take advantage of this offer, make sure you ask them about the doorbell camera. I'm sure you all have seen by now the doorbell camera incident where there was that lunatic trying to break into someone's home, and the dad got the notification he wasn't home, and he was able to get home to protect his family. Remember, with the shovel? And I use that doorbell camera so much. It's amazing. And sometimes I feel a little bit. Yesterday, there were some door-to-door salesmen coming. I don't know if they were from the cable company. I don't know. They were in some kind of uniform, and they know I'm home. I see them coming up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and I don't answer. Whatever. Don't answer your door for people, and you don't have to. And you get a notification no matter where you are. I get notifications when somebody is in front of my house, no matter where I am. So the Sloman's Home Security offers a free home security system with free professional installation, as well as 24/7 central station monitoring, which is very, very important. You get all that for just $24.95 a month, and you're locked in for 5 years. Give them a call. Here's the number, toll-free, no matter where you're located, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. We'll be right back. All right, welcome everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys.
Medication assistance, Alzheimer's care, and so much more. Our team is known for clinical expertise, compassion, and long-standing relationships with providers and families. Families trust VNA to help their loved ones stay safe, comfortable, and independent at home. For more information, visit vnaflorida.org or call 772-295-5739.
It's Brian. Have you ever noticed that every morning I'm alert, wide awake, and well-rested? That's thanks to Mike Lindell's MyPillow. With the MyPillow, I sleep comfortably and deeply each and every night. And right now, you can get the MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at MyPillow.com. Just $19.98, and you'll get the best night's sleep you've ever gotten. Promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879.
This is Jamie Levac with Swift Tax. With the big, beautiful bill, I can help you with your federal, state, city, and income tax. The Treasury Secretary said that this year, taxpayers will be receiving the biggest refund they've had in years. We at Swift Tax will maximize your refund. Call me now, 954-773-1587. That number rings directly to my cell phone, 954-773-1587.
I'm a chiropractic physician. I've seen thousands and thousands of patients in my career. I've been a chiropractic physician here in Pompano Beach for 40 years. We're open 6 days a week. If you have sciatica, you have bursitis, you have tendonitis, you're tired of taking the pills, the drugs, the injections, and you heard that you have to live with it, well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great success with helping people. My testimonials are marvelous with patients. They love the treatment. There's no injections, there's no medication, there's no surgery, there's none of that. It's strictly either the laser, the acupuncture I do, or the shockwave therapy. therapy I do, open 6 days a week, come in for the free consultation, and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So that's what's going on in Iran. Now, with Eric Swalwell, I watched The Accuser yesterday with Gloria Allred's daughter at that press conference. What is it about Gloria Allred and her daughter that any woman who is victimized by a famous person, they end up in there as the client of theirs? I don't know how that happens, but I don't know. Gloria Allred's daughter, I haven't seen her in a while. She's getting older, that's for sure. She looks a lot more like her mother than she used to. But I watched this press conference with The Accuser in California, and I have seen so many accusers over the years. She is the most credible sexual assault accuser of a public official I think I've ever seen. Really, I mean that. And I've seen so many of them. I guess we all have, right? But she's the most credible in so much detail, and she talked about the hotel and the dates and all this stuff. And people have gone back and looked at his campaign finance reports, and he was on that day and that she said and everything else, the campaign was paying for that hotel room. So, it's not like E. Jean Carroll. Well, I can't tell you what year, what decade. I don't know where it was. I know it was in this place on this, but I don't know any details. This woman has so many details, and she doesn't get all creepy either with Anderson Cooper. Remember E. Jean Carroll talking about sexy and all that stuff. But the thing about Eric Swalwell, and then they have these other women that he victimized that were on CBS yesterday. I'll play a little bit of the woman from the press conference in a minute. But, the thing about Eric Swalwell, and the Democrats are desperate to get out of this now, and they've got their allies in the media helping them. But, this has nothing to do with the media, right? This is the Democrats with their scumbag files that they use. And if you look at the Democrats, not just in the Congress, in government as a whole, but if you were to look in Congress, how many of them are not compromised, right? How many of them are not compromised? And when these guys get caught, whether it's President Clinton or Swalwell here and all the others in between, the sense I always get from them is the same, right? Their attitude is, why are you picking on me? Everyone's doing it. I saw yesterday a story that they ended the high school internship program at the House of Representatives because so many of the congressmen were getting creepy with the high school students. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just total sleazeballs, and these are the people they recruit for these positions. Eric Swalwell is the textbook ideal congressman for the political establishment because they can control them, right? And all these things that we're hearing about Eric Swalwell, they all just came out, boom, just like that, right? And the woman's doing the press. I believe all these women, they're all the. I heard the CBS interview, the press conference yesterday with Allred's daughter. Bloom, they're very detailed, very credible and all that. But when you look at these other ones where they've made allegations against Republicans, the big ones everyone's talking about now because they're the most recent is E. Jean Carroll with Trump and what was her name with Kavanaugh, Blasey Ford? I forget her first name. If you remember, Blasey Ford, like E. Jean Carroll, was so light on details. There were no details, very vague. Couldn't remember where, when, what, how, none of that stuff. And with these women yesterday, very, very specific. But, how did it happen? How did this happen, right? They talk about an open secret. they're all this way. They are all this way. And not just the Democrats, a lot of the Republicans too. Remember Kevin McCarthy was caught living in Frank Luntz's condo in Washington, D.C. And Madison Cawthorn was talking about these sex parties that they were inviting him to. And when he started talking about that, they have these eyes wide shut parties. That's when Madison Cawthorn got run out of Congress. And by the way, Madison Cawthorn is running for the House again here in Florida in Byron Donald's district. He gave an interview yesterday, which I may play some of coming up later. But, you look at these people like, remember John Edwards when he was running for vice president, he was in the Senate and he had impregnated a campaign worker he was married, his wife had cancer. Remember all that stuff? And you look at all of these scandals that are going on right now. Swalwell's best friend, Hunter Biden, all these things. Swalwell is typical for a member of Congress. That's it. I mean, and what we've seen, it's so obvious what they do. With the men, they control them with sex. And with the women, they buy them off, like Presley with her $8.1 million or the $25 million that Marjorie Trader Greene has made in the last 5 or 6 years in the House of Representatives. Think about that. She made $25 million, maybe even a little bit more, after January 6th, right? I mean, come on. And now she's retired. I don't blame her, right? She made her money, retire. But for most of them, the money's never enough, so they stay in like Pelosi, so they can make $250 million, instead of just $25 million. But this is how our government works, and it's pretty frightening. Is sometimes you don't want to know. And that's why they tried so hard with President Trump, because they're so sleazy and scummy in Washington. They can't even imagine that there's a guy out there that's not a pervert and doesn't have all this weird stuff. I mean, Bobby Kennedy, we all love Bobby Kennedy Jr. now, but remember the sex diary of Bobby Kennedy, where he had a woman in every city that he traveled in, and he would make notes in his diary about things she liked and things he liked about her and rate her performance. And his wife, he was married at the time. That didn't end well for her, if you look at it. And so they couldn't even fathom, even still today, after everything they've done and found nothing, they just can't get their mind around the idea that someone in Donald Trump's position is a squeaky clean Marine that's not some scumbag like Eric Swalwell. And, typically, I think what happens with most of these guys, not all of them, but most of these guys, like Eric Swalwell, I saw his high school picture. Did you guys see his high school picture? Oh, my goodness. He was going heavy duty on the Sun-In. Remember Sun-In? People would put Sun-In in their hair, and it would turn your hair orange. And you look at Eric Swalwell's high school senior picture in the tuxedo. He looks like, this is not an exaggeration, he looks like Napoleon Dynamite in a tuxedo with Sun-In in his hair. And when you have a guy like him, who was scummy out in California when he held local office, they're all saying, and that's when they saw how scummy he was, that's how he got recruited. I was watching an interview yesterday with a local newspaper reporter in San Francisco who had been covering him for years, all this scummy things, and he was talking about how unpopular he has been out there for his entire political career. Yet he gets elected to different offices and reelected. He was about to, try to become governor at least. And because when they saw what a pervert he was, when they found out about that in California, that's when they said, this is the guy we want in Congress. This is the perfect person. He's got problems. But the guys like Eric Swalwell that have the problems are the ones like him, with the Sun-In in their hair, looking like Napoleon Dynamite, and they couldn't get girls in high school or college. And when they can't get girls when they're young, when they grow up, they're like this, like Eric Swalwell a lot of times. And Donald Trump never had those problems, so that's probably one of the. I remember when he first started running, we didn't know too much about him. When he was talking about running in 2011, I was wondering at the time. I wonder, he had a little single time, and he was divorced and remarried and all this stuff. I wonder if he's got some Victoria's Secret models that are going to. And no, they had some accusations, all total BS. But no, most men are not like Eric Swalwell. Just the ones in Washington, and most of those are the Democrats. But it's true of Republicans too, like Kevin McCarthy living at Frank Luntz's house. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Today is April 15th. This is it. This is the tax deadline day. And if you've not filed your taxes yet, well, you still have time, but you might be in extension time, which is fine. File your extension, but call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, call or text, and he can get your extension filed for you. If you get his voicemail, leave your name and number. He will call you back. You can text him. I imagine he's going to be very busy today, but give him a call and he can help you with your extension. 954-773-1587, 954-773-1587. Remember, Jamie Levac can help you no matter where you are located. 954-773-1587. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Skies will be cloudy today and temperatures mild, a high of 80. No mention of rain in the forecast for tonight. Clearing skies and a low of 70. For tomorrow, more sunshine mixed with clouds and a high of 82.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On 441 north of Lake Worth Road, watch for emergency vehicles reportedly still on the scene of an earlier crash. On Okeechobee Boulevard, there's road work at Haverhill Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic, Ron Hersey.
That's your traffic, brought to you by PBKC. This April, spring into winnings in the poker room at PBKC. Don't miss exciting daily tournaments highlighted by our $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight event running April 9th through the 12th. High hands hit every 15 minutes, every day from 9 a.m. to midnight, plus $100,000 progressive weekends.
Annette, who watches on YouTube, she sent me a whole bunch of stuff. A birthday card, the new book by Charlie Kirk, which I'm really excited about, so I'm going to read that this weekend. Oh, this is awesome. A gift card to Chipotle and a gift card to Starbucks. So thank you very much. And a bunch of other things, too, that are over here. The 250th anniversary glass. A bunch more. That's just a few of the things. So thanks, Annette. I appreciate it. I'm going to have lunch at Chipotle today with that gift card. Thank you.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your documents and you leave this world, your beneficiaries can go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call. 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I came into the radio studio today. There were these 2 huge packages for me, and filled with birthday gifts, which was very nice. I appreciate it. And Annette in New Hampshire, she sent me a bunch of stuff, and so much stuff that I'm embarrassed to go through it all with you. I must tell you. But one of the things she sent me, and I'm really excited about this because I've wanted this. She sent me a copy of Charlie Kirk's last book, the one that came out after the Never Trumpers assassinated him. Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. I'm going to read this book, and I'm sure my wife will read it too. And my wife is always telling me that I should not work on Sundays, and I'm always doing something on YouTube or a podcast or something on Sundays. But appreciate it, Annette, for all of that, and I'm going to definitely at least start reading the book over the weekend. All right, we'll go to the phones. Our number is 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Richie?
Yeah, well, I'm getting, once again, feedback.
Yeah, I know. I'm at the radio station today, and I don't know why it's doing that when at the radio station. Everybody looked into it. Well, let me try it now. Are you getting feedback now? Try it now.
All right, I'm going to talk. No, I'm not.
You're not. I figured out the problem. You're not. There's no feedback now? Because I had the Q speaker on. That was it. Tell Craig, the engineer, not to come in. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. We solved the problem. And the problem was me. Oh, well, thank you very much.
I have, yeah, I heard you 3 times. Here's the deal, Brian. Not for nothing. You're a religious man. You're in a good marriage. You stayed with Kathy a long time. I'm not sick.
No. I haven't stayed with my wife for a long time. My wife has put up with me for a long time, I think is more accurate. Yes.
What I'm trying to say to you is Eric Swalwell, okay? I'm not sticking up for what he did. But these women are outrageous. I'm sorry to say it, man. I've been around the clock for a long time. When I spent like 11 years in Fort Lauderdale doing the night circuit, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I mean, trust me, I had VIPs to every club. And the thing is that you find these women go around people with money, and it's a power thing. You got a baseball team come to a hotel. The hotel is full of groupies. And these guys that are in the military, when I was in the Army, as soon as the guy got overseas orders, the next day his wife was in the bar trying to find a guy. I'm trying to say that it goes 50-50. And the fact of the matter is that when guys get away from their wives and they take these jobs that they're out of town all the time as traveling salesmen or truckers, they're all fooling around. Not
Wait.
all, but probably about.
Give me a break. Well, it depends. It depends on the guy and the profession. But here's the thing. What you're talking about in the singles bar circuit is much different than what goes on in Washington. Okay, and what happens a lot of times, if you like the woman with Gloria Allred's daughter yesterday, right? I 100% believe her. I mean, her story was so true. And what happens is these women, they're being groomed, and they see that they're hungry. They see that they're hungry. Like I remember there used to be. I can say things about dead people, can't I? That's okay. You remember Rick Siderman? Okay. Every time, he and I didn't get along at that radio station because I was like 20, 21, and he was the age I am now. And anytime there was a new female there, he was all over her. And she'd be like 20 years old, 22. You know what I mean? Oh, let's go for a ride. You want to be on the radio? Come on my show and all this stuff. And if you remember what Rick Siderman looked like Eric Swalwell, he didn't get girls in high school either, right? And, so these guys, they're in these positions, whether it was Siderman on the radio or these guys in Congress, and these young girls come in and they don't realize, okay? Yeah, oh, did I lose you now? Okay, you're back. Okay, but I got you now. What these younger girls don't realize, because like this woman yesterday, this happened a few years ago, she was younger. They're in these positions, right? They don't realize this, okay? That guys only want to have sex with them. They're not interested in being their friend. Guys, especially married men, are never interested in being friends with these women. They all want to have sex with them, and they get themselves in these situations. This is not like, these Swalwell stories yesterday are a little different than Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein had starlets coming to his hotel room. More of them knew what was going on than was let on. What Swalwell was doing was much different. Much different.
Younger women, but I'm trying to tell you that society this is what Washington, D.C. is a big power thing. Now these young girls go up there and they get these jobs there. Some of them are working there with law degrees. They have summer jobs and everything like that, and they want to get into politics. And they're influenced.
No, they think oh, this congressman is, oh, he's interested in me. I must be doing something right. I went to college and here I am and I'm making it, and they don't realize that they're being groomed to be bedded. That's the way it is for young people.
The guys groom them, but let me tell you something. A guy does not have to be good looking if he's in his, I'll give you an example, and I'm going to throw this out because he's going to call you. He's going to go crazy. He's an attorney, and I expect that he's a successful.
You and Greg got a thing to go with each other. I mean, what is it with you guys?
But what he said to you, what really got to me, and I didn't say anything yesterday, when he says, "I have a younger woman."
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I was embarrassed for him, actually. Yeah.
So the bottom line is, he's 57. I don't care about age differences, but that's all it meant to him, and the fact that she's younger, and that's what happens. These younger women look at money. The guy could be ugly as hell, but if he's got a big bank account and is successful.
Boy, I mean, you really don't think much of women.
I don't think much of those kind of women. And it's quite
See what happened. There's a big difference in what you're talking. By the way, I don't believe Greg's story. Do you? I mean, come on. But you're talking about going to bars, okay, in your single days, which was a long time ago, back in the swinging 70s or 80s or whatever, as opposed to what's going on in Congress with these government. And what these guys do is they go out and recruit vulnerable women. Many of them have issues and are damaged, and bring them into internships or get them jobs so they can make their move. That's I mean, so that's grooming.
Waters on television married one. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Waters, remember when he told that story live that he while he was married to his first wife, he deflated the intern's tires and waited for her in the parking garage so he could rescue her and get her in his car. I mean, my goodness. I mean, that's that was really psycho. I couldn't believe that they didn't take him off the air when he said that.
So that's this has been going on from the beginning of time.
Did I miss the break? Did I miss the bottom of the hour break? Okay, I did not miss the bottom of the hour break. Okay.
No, you didn't. Let me say this to you, Brian. There was a book out, and I don't remember the name. I wish I could give it to you. You're a big reader. A congressman literally had sex on the steps of Congress with a woman. They were in raincoats and in broad daylight.
Really, I don't remember that one.
Oh, there's a book out. It was back in the I think it was the 70s or 80s. A big scandal about that. If you Google it, you find out who had this.
All right. Hey, Richie, I'm gonna move on, but I appreciate the call. Richie does not think well of women. I think we can tell that by the call. Well, I'm glad we figured out what the problem was, and I'll tell you what the problem was. I'm a little embarrassed. The problem was me, because I put the phone pot Q speaker on, and that's what was causing it. Which it never used to do that though, because I always have put the Q speaker on. But that's okay. It was and I got to tell you, they had the engineer looking at it, the operations manager. They're doing tests. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And my stupid self. Oh, well. Yeah, at least we figured it out. Oh, man. All right. The number 888-465-2630. Oh, this one should be good because they're trying to block their number. Let's just do that one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Raymond. I'm calling from the largest city United States. When you
What city is that? What city is that?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville. Oh yes. Ugh.
Hey, you accidentally cut the YouTube stream sound off for the callers.
No, we're having some. I'm at the radio station studio today, and we've been having some issues, and I figured out what the problem was, and so it's going to be an issue on YouTube today.
But I could hear Richie prior to.
I understand. I understand, but yeah, okay.
Man.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, Jackson. All right, you're on the air. He blocked his number for that, or tried to block his number, I should say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Louise, the masked lady.
Oh, yes, yes, Louise.
Yes, haven't spoken. First of all, I just want to know, is Steve okay?
Steve is okay. I know. I called Steve yesterday. I said, Steve, we got to do a proof of life on the air. People are going to think I've done something. Yes.
Talk about. No, I totally disagree with you, and I agree with Richie. How could you think these women sound credible? Now, first of all, let me just speak, please. One of them, I woke up naked in his hotel room. Well, how did she get in his hotel room?
You left out the first. No, you left out the first part. She says that he drugged her. That he put something in her drink and she blacked out.
And he drugged her. He drugged her.
That's what she said. No. She probably walked. She just doesn't remember. Like.
What was she doing in his hotel room?
She told the whole story in the press conference yesterday. Okay. He was going. No, hold on. You want to know? I'm going to tell you, Louise. Okay. Now this is the one from the press conference with Gloria Allred's daughter yesterday. They were on their way to a political event that he was speaking at, and he said that he left some important paperwork, I guess his speech, in the hotel room, and they went back to the hotel room to get it. Yes. Yes.
Up the next day naked in his hotel room. Please.
Okay.
Now let me just tell you the other
So
one.
you go ahead and defend. You're the one person defending Eric Swalwell. You'll understand that, right?
I'm no fan of his. I'm a Trump person, of course. Now the other one, he raped her, and then he strangled her, and she said she went unconscious, but she thought she died. Now, if you're unconscious, how the hell do you even have a thought process?
I don't know. The first one we were talking about from the press conference yesterday, one of them said that they were choked. Yeah.
And she went unconscious and thought she died.
Mm-hmm.
When you're unconscious, do you have a thought process that you?
Well, you leave out the part that she said she was drugged, so she was on drugs, according to her.
I'm with Richie.
You're always with Richie. You're always with Richie.
I don't know how you can think these women are credible. I just can't even fathom it.
All right. You go ahead. You go ahead and defend Eric Swalwell.
I'm not defending him.
Sure.
He didn't make passes or whatever, but to say he was choking her.
That's what she said.
A man is going to risk his career for a piece of you know what?
Well, it was no risk. He's been doing it for years. It was only a risk recently. He did something. What he did, we don't exactly know, but he went against the establishment.
Do you remember the athlete?
Kobe Bryant? Was it Kobe? Yeah.
Yes, she went to his hotel room.
Yes.
And he, all this sexual thing. What the hell was she doing up there at 2 or 3 o'clock?
Well, just when it comes to sex, at any moment, all right, a woman can say no, and at that point, it's no longer consensual, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Think they're going to pin them down? I don't believe it.
Okay.
Even with Harvey Weinstein. Did he?
Well, Harvey Weinstein's a little different when you're talking about Hollywood starlets, okay?
Please. Anyway, I can't understand how you can see through all this.
I know. What? That Eric Swalwell's a victim? I mean, what are you saying?
I'm not saying the man is a victim, but I'm not saying he didn't make passes or whatever.
Okay.
Naked in his hotel room?
Yes.
Come on.
All right. All right.
Absolutely wrong.
All right. All right. Take care. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm so glad we figured out the problem with the phones here at the radio station. All right. Listen, we'll take a quick break. Our number is toll-free 888-465-2631 and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Sloman's Home Security is offering a free home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring, all for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. All you have to do right now is call 833-283-5050. That's right, just $24.95 per month to secure your home and family. Call 833-283-5050 to receive this limited time offer. A free home security system and professional installation absolutely free. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3-door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access, so you can check in anytime from anywhere. You can't put a price on peace of mind, so call 833-283-5050 right now. At Sloman's Home Security, we believe every family deserves to feel safe, because protecting what matters most shouldn't be complicated or expensive. Call 833-283-5050 to get your free home security system and professional installation today. Sloman's Home Security, protecting families nationwide. Call 833-283-5050 to get your free home security system and professional installation today, or visit slomans.com.
Open enrollment may be over, but that doesn't mean your Medicare questions are. If you're turning 65, new to Medicare, moving, or qualifying for a special enrollment period, you may still have options. Don't guess when it comes to your healthcare coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. She'll walk you through your Medicare Advantage, your supplements, and your prescription drug plans. Then help you find coverage that fits your needs and your budget. You don't have to figure this out alone. Call Debbie today at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you with your Medicare no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. I Will Advisors, helping you make Medicare simple. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. The prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Brian. IB and Rob.
Hey, IB.
I'm really shocked at Denise. I'm not hearing from her for a while, and then calling in to say that. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I'm making an opinion.
She. I guess when she was a young woman that maybe men never were interested in her, so she's never experienced the lust of a man, perhaps. I did meet her once, but she was wearing a mask, so I have no idea what she looks like, because she was wearing a mask. But yeah, at the Barry Siegel workshop, yeah. She says, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, you're Louise." She says, "How do you know?" I said, "Because you're the only one with a mask on." Yeah, of course, I don't know.
The mask is for Louise. Even if you believe that, could you not just not tell the other side? We need all the wins we can get. And I love the fact that you played that. Brian, you can hear me okay?
I can indeed, yes.
This from me then. I love the fact that on your podcast you played Eric Swalwell saying that he can't wait to have us Republicans in that chair. And I said to you, we can't wait to see him behind bars, and this lady has to go all the way. Well, I hope that they're not going to play the game and just take it to a certain point and then stop.
Well, you know, I'm upset about this. I did not want him to drop out of the governor's race or resign from Congress. I mean, he was the gift that kept on giving. And, you know, the thing, you know, like when people are talking about Kavanaugh, you know, Kavanaugh, there was one thing about Kavanaugh that rubbed me the wrong way during those hearings, and it wasn't that Blasey Ford, because she was so full of it, you know. But when he would walk into court, when he would walk into the congressional hearings, he had his staff with him, right? And they were all women, and they were good looking. They were like fembots. Like he was walking, and it was like out of I talked about this at the time. It was like out of a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. He was in the front, and the women that worked for him were behind him, like in a pyramid formation. It looked like a scene out of a Bruckheimer movie. And he obviously hired majority women, and they all happened to be good looking. And instead of focusing on the liar, Blasey Ford, they should have looked into the women that were working for him. You know what I mean? It just, he seemed to like a lot of women working for him that were good looking, Kavanaugh. You know? Seemed a little odd. If I did that, my wife would be wondering, asking me all kinds of questions. Oh, I think we lost him. We lost him. Okay, that's good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dustin, Louisiana.
Hey, Dustin. Turn down the volume of whatever I'm hearing in the background.
Okay.
What is that? It sounds like an electric razor. What is that?
I'm really not sure.
All right. What's on? Okay. What's on your mind?
I was just calling, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's not till next week, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate my birthday anymore, man. I had family members who died on my birthday. I just don't celebrate it. I'm getting old, man.
No, I celebrate it.
Well, I want to talk about the blockade.
The what thing?
The blockade. The strait.
Oh, the straight. I thought you said the black thing. You mean the blockade. I can't continue. I mean, this noise in the background's too distracting. Do you have something on? Are you on a speakerphone? Are you on a Bluetooth? Pick up the phone. There you go. Pick it up. See, I'm working out all these technical problems. You know, got my technical problem worked out. I got yours worked out. All right, the blockade. I thought you said you wanted to talk about the black thing.
Blockade.
The blockade. Okay, go ahead.
Trump's going about it. He's blocking it. He's everything off. He's in control of it.
Correct.
Again, it's either do that or go the opposite way and send as many ships as we can over there. And they can't bomb us all, you know?
They can't bomb any of them. No, they don't seem to have any. There haven't been any mines going off with the naval blockade. Mm-mm.
Right, but it's like you either go in all the way or you block it.
We are in all the way.
Right. I just wanted to get that out there, share my opinion about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. All right, appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. First hour a little rough there today. That's okay. That's okay. The thing about Swalwell, I am as serious as a heart attack when I was so hoping he stayed in the governor's race. We're still favored to win because, I explained the other day how the governor's race works in California, but I'll just tell you again quickly. This is I don't know what the term is, but it's kind of like an open primary. There's a bunch of people running this is the primary in California for governor, and everyone is in it, regardless of their party. It's in the same primary. And whoever comes in first and second place is who's going to run against each other in the general election. And right now, Steve Hilton and that sheriff are in first and second place by quite a bit, although we haven't seen any polls since the Swalwell scandal broke over the weekend. But so it looks like we're going to have two Republicans running against each other, which is awesome. I mean, I'm rooting for Steve Hilton because Trump endorsed him. But the Democrats are in a real sad state out there. But it would have been, it's possible that the second place finisher could be a Democrat when they, if they get united here after this. So I wanted him to stay in the race, because if Swalwell would have stayed in the race, it would have been without question two Republicans running against each other in the general election, which meant 100% chance of a Republican governor in California. Now, I don't know. There have not been any new polls, so we don't really know. So I did not want him to drop out. And I want, so far as him in Congress, I guess they had to throw him out of Congress. I don't know, but why did George Santos get arrested and sent to prison, and was expelled like on a dime? And we got the one Democrat woman from Miami who took all the COVID money. We got Eric Swalwell, who's got multiple rape accusations against him. And we've got the financial crimes of Presley we've been talking about. Ilhan Omar and her immigration. Why is it only George Santos was expelled on a dime, right, without much inquiry whatsoever, and then they sent him off to prison? And all these others, the worst so far that's going to happen is they get tossed out of Congress. It's because, as I always tell you, Democrats, they're like James Bond. They have immunity against pretty much any and everything. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg.
Hey, listen, by the way, I didn't lie about this. I'm glad I got inside Richie's head by the only purpose I
Yeah, you two are obsessed with each other.
Because he constantly is, insulting me.
But, I mean, both of you spend more time talking about each other than the issue. I've got less than a minute till the break.
Okay, guess what? You were avoiding the one hot topic, and I know why.
What's that?
That Trump did put that as Jesus. He said, oh, my doctor healing me.
I talked about that for 3 hours yesterday. I did the whole show on that yesterday.
Right, and guess what? There was more developments to it. You could have talked about.
Oh, really? What is developed that I have not discussed?
All right, he acknowledged that he put it on his Truth Social.
Mm-hmm.
He said that, I was portraying myself as to be a doctor.
A healer, healing the nation. I talked about all this for yesterday. You missed yesterday's show.
No, J.D. Vance came out and said, it was supposed to be a joke, like a sense of humor.
Yeah, I played the clip of J.D. Vance talking about it on the show. I'm out of time for the hour, Greg. I'm sorry. It's 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.
WDJA AM Delray Beach, also heard in St. Lucie County on 1590 WPSL Port St. Lucie, and in Martin County on 1450 WSTU Stewart. Broadcasting from the H2 Ocean Studios, your natural sea mineral-based healing product since 2001. Burns, cuts, dry eyes, oral care, hair care, reef-safe sun care, and even pet care. H2 Ocean has you covered. Online at h2ocean.com.
No.
That's h2ocean.com. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel. From the Code Red Roofers Weather Center. Code Red Roofers. Roofers who respond. Call 844-4CODE-RED. CodeRedRoofers.com. Here's your oldies forecast.
Skies will be cloudy today and temperatures mild, a high of 80. No mention of rain in the forecast for tonight. Clearing skies and a low of 70. For tomorrow, more sunshine mixed with clouds and a high of 82.
Weather brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Roofers who respond. Serving South Florida for over 20 years. Promoting integrity over profitability. And focused on doing right over being right. Protect your home or office today with Code Red Roofers. Call 844-4CODE-RED. CodeRedRoofers.com. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On the Turnpike, watch for construction from Boynton Beach Boulevard to Lake Worth Road. On Yamato Road, watch for construction Northwest 4th Avenue to Federal Highway. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250 keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Ron Mercy.
That's your traffic brought to you by PBKC. Saturday, May 2nd, get ready for the ultimate Kentucky Derby Day party at PBKC. Enjoy live music from Friday at 5, trackside barbecue, a derby hat contest, mint juleps, and a full paddock buffet. PBKC is your only OTB destination in Palm Beach County to watch, wager, and win. And don't miss the poker room for daily high hands, progressive high hand weekends, tournaments, table games, and your
Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your documents and you leave this world, your beneficiaries could go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, hour number 2 has begun. Yeah, so yesterday I was talking about, and this is a very sad thing, to me with the Pope, because, when Pope Leo was elected Pope, I was really excited to have an American Pope, and I was really looking forward to him coming to America, and I assumed he was going to visit Chicago because that's where he's from. And now they're saying he's not going to come to the United States as long as Trump is president. And I was talking yesterday about how there's this huge Democrat conspiracy using the Catholic Church with the Pope to go after Trump, right? And there's a big miscalculation. They're always, I was talking yesterday. They're trying to turn Christians against the president. They're always trying to turn MAGA people against Trump. And, one of the things, I don't think I mentioned this yesterday, I'm Catholic, but I've only been Catholic for like 15 years, but I've always been Christian. And before I was Catholic, I never cared what the Pope, whoever he was, said about anything, because they really didn't mean anything to me. So, the Pope's not going to be influential beyond Catholics, and even a lot of Catholics, if you've seen Tom Holman and others, don't like it when the Pope gets involved in earthly matters that he shouldn't be involved in, like politics, right? Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, right? And he's getting involved. And this is really a sad thing, and others are picking up on this now. I want to play this clip from CNN in a minute, but I'm really starting to wonder if David Axelrod played a major role in Pope Leo being elected Pope. To have an American Pope was something you would think was insane. And I remember when they had it kind of down, they were talking about the top contenders, and they mentioned him. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna, these Europeans. The last Pope, even though he was from Argentina, he was originally from Italy, so he was Italian. And I thought, there's no way they're going to elect an American Pope. There's just no way. And then they did. And then and everyone got all excited because his brother, who's retired, and that's Catholic, we're all excited, but his brother is retired to Florida, is MAGA. He even met the president. Remember, he went to a Trump rally, the Pope's brother? He's hardcore MAGA. I wish he lived down here, because if he lived down here, I would go to Mass at that guy's church at least once to meet him, or I keep going until I did meet him. And it was reported when Pope Leo first became Pope that he was a registered Republican in Chicago, at least at some point in Cook County. And maybe that's true. I mean, I remember seeing the documents. Charlie Kirk even talked about it. I remember that he was a registered. I remember reading the articles and seeing the documents that Pope Leo was a registered Republican. But that may have just been because of the abortion position of the Democrats. He couldn't get himself to register as a Democrat because they're pro-abortion. I don't know. But he met with Axelrod, and then all this stuff happened. And I'm really wondering, what role did David Axelrod and the Democrat Party bosses play in the election of the Pope? You know, these things are all political. And this was an exchange yesterday on CNN about this, and the Democrats on the panel, they didn't want to hear it.
President Trump's Catholic vote during the midterms, and Republicans are in the midterms. If you look at what play out the dots here, David Axelrod goes and visits.
Oh my God, the arrogance of the
You're not gonna let me finish. Let me finish.
They're all
Clearly striking a chord here.
Let's let him finish the thought.
David Axelrod goes and visits Pope Leo last week. They're talking about Obama going to visit Pope Leo. Pope Leo's from Chicago. All of a sudden, now Pope Leo is out attacking Trump and the policies of the United States and Israel. In a way, well, in a much more forceful way. You have 3 cardinals come out today attacking the immigration policy. This is all about trying to get the Catholic vote against Trump. And let me add one more thing. No.
Flaws in this
They're
argument.
gonna There's no flaws. There's no flaws. Well,
Including that none of the things that you're
Axelrod is
describing
the chief
as
strategist for Obama.
He's also from Chicago, but
The
that's not
Pope
why
is
he
saying
went.
he's not political. Why is he meeting with the chief strategist for both Obama's campaigns and in the White House? Oh, really? Would he have a possible reason to meet with a chief political?
Hear the panic with the panel on CNN? They know that this guy, and I didn't know this part that he shared. Obama met with Pope Leo. Why would Obama, who's not Christian, who's rumored to be, well, he said he was Muslim, right? During that Stephanopoulos interview. Why would he be meeting with the Pope now? I get it when he was president, because that's part of the thing, right? But why would he be meeting with the Pope now? And you know, another thing, well, the Chicago machine, the Pope's from Chicago. Another thing I'd like to know is there a history with Axelrod and the Pope? You know, because they're Chicago people. You know, Chicago, people talk about the deep state and all this stuff, and all that stuff's certainly true. But when you look at the radicalism of the Democrat Party, it all comes from Chicago. I mean, that Chicago gave us Nixon's defeat in 1960, remember? Nixon had won that election. He won Illinois, and then all of a sudden, the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Daley, remember he found, I wasn't alive, but I've read the history. Nixon won Illinois, won everything, and then all of a sudden, the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Daley, found, was it a box or a bag? I can't remember, of ballots in the basement of a church in Chicago. Boom. Then Kennedy wins Illinois and then wins 1960, okay? You know, Hillary Clinton is from Chicago, right? Valerie Jarrett from Chicago. Obama with the Chicago cell. There's a radical Chicago cell of the Democrats that is very, very powerful and influential. And my guess is that David Axelrod has known the Pope since maybe since he was a priest and hadn't become a bishop or a cardinal or any of that stuff yet. It would not surprise me. But if he hadn't known him that long, he's certainly known him during his cardinal times. Whenever he's come here to visit, there has to be connections between Axelrod and the Pope. And the other thing about the Pope that he's doing that's very political is on the 4th of July going to this island in the Mediterranean for an event where all the migrants from Africa go to before they invade Europe. And the Pope did another thing this week. You see, he went to this mosque, the largest mosque, second largest mosque, whatever it is, and he took his shoes off and he's walking barefoot through the mosque. You know, as Christians, Catholics in particular, you're supposed to be converting, right? That's what the Catholics did during the age of exploration, converting. You don't go to mosques and say, hey, you know, you're just like us. And if you notice, while the Pope's been buddying up with the Muslims, which is, I wouldn't go inside a mosque ever, under any circumstances. You would never catch me inside a mosque under any circumstances. Ever. ever, ever, ever. But the Pope, he's really been buddying up to the Muslims lately. And if you notice, Tucker Carlson, there's been this narrative that the Carlson type people have been trying to promote this week that the Muslims believe in Jesus. Have you heard this? The Muslims believe in Jesus. Have you heard that? And, you know, what Muslims believe about Jesus, they do not believe in Jesus. They do not. But I've heard that multiple times in the last 24 hours. Have you heard this? Muslims do not believe that Jesus was the Messiah, okay? They believe that Jesus, like many liberal Jews believe, that Jesus was a man who lived. That's what Muslims believe. Muslims believe that there's only one prophet sent from God, and his name is Muhammad, right? But what they're trying to do is what Muslims are trying to do right now, and they're doing this through this Pope visit, through this thing that I've been hearing about in the last day or two, that Muslims believe in Jesus and all this when they don't. Muslims do believe that Jesus was a man who lived, but they don't believe he was the Son of God or even a prophet. There's only one prophet, according to them, and there will be no other prophets other than Muhammad. But this is what they did in England. When they were taking over England, they started saying that the Queen, the royal family, the Queen in particular, if you trace her family line, was related to the Prophet Muhammad. Remember that? I talked about that on the show at the time. So what they're doing right now, and they're using Christians to do this, in particular Catholics, is like what they did in England. They're trying to convince us and sell this thing that they believe in Christianity too. It's crazy. And people buy it because liberals are stupid. All right? And they want to buy it. They want to believe it. And there's a big political play going on here. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. Are you in pain? Why have you not taken my advice to go see Dr. Philip Appleton yet? I mean, come on, guys. You know, Dr. Appleton's robotic laser away pain treatment works. I have met so many listeners since the years that Dr. Appleton has been with us that are now living pain-free lives. And I'm talking about people that had some serious pains. The robotic laser away pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Neck pain, tennis elbow, tinnitus, strains and sprains, sciatica, muscular contraction, lumbar pain, hip pain, knee pain, bursitis, bronchial neuralgia, arthritis, and many, many more. Remember with Dr. Appleton, it's a free consultation. Appointments are never necessary. Walk-ins are always welcome, even on Saturdays, okay? So don't just take my word for it. Go see Dr. Appleton and let him share with you what he can do with your pain, which is rid you of it with his robotic laser away pain treatment. Give him a call. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
It's Brian. Have you ever noticed that every morning I'm alert, wide awake, and well-rested? That's thanks to Mike Lindell's MyPillow. With the MyPillow, I sleep comfortably and deeply each and every night. And right now, you can get the MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. That's just $19.98, and you'll get the best night's sleep you've ever gotten. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879.
You know, May is almost here, and Margaritaville at Sea is the #1 cruise line for heroes. Tell the teachers who inspire us, the healthcare workers who care for us, the first responders who are always there, and military members and veterans who serve with courage.
select dates. It's the Hero Sail Free program. Your well-earned escape awaits, whether it's a quick getaway to Key West or a longer Caribbean cruise. Now's the time to take a break and breathe. But don't wait. May savings are filling fast. Book now at margaritavilletsea.com.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about bye-bye pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Florida Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house. It's never been downtime. They're old school, which means call them up, they'll be there. How many times have you called somebody up and they never show up or they give you an excuse? Weather, traffic, whatever. Tom LaPorta, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Give Tom LaPorta at LaPorta Roofing a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. 954-604-4602. LaPortaRoofing.com. They'll never sell you a roof you don't need.
Do you have questions about your retirement? Hi, it's Jenny Thomas, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show with my sister Dana and my dad, Jupiter Joe Thomas. Tune in Wednesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Listen for key strategies to maximize your money and guaranteed income for life. Right here on the True Oldies channel.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. 106.9 FM. Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, weird things happen. You know, my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, available wherever you get podcasts and YouTube. My podcast ranks between 150 and 200 top podcasts in the United States. And it varies based on, you know, how many podcast episodes I do in a particular month. But between 150 and 200 is where I normally rank. And this morning I got a notification. This is really weird. You know, my podcast is ranked number 30, the 30th most listened to podcast in Romania. Just out of the blue. Like, what's going on with me this month that the Romanians are listening to me? I don't know. Does anyone know anything about Romania? I don't know. But there's something going on in Romania because I got a notification about that today. They're listening to me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything about Romania. But, all right. Welcome to the Romanians. Okay, let's go to the phones. I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know why. All right, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? This may be the best call of the day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello. Indeed, I can. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Donna. What's on your mind? Because we were having some well, it's going to be an issue today for you if you're watching on YouTube. That's just today. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Take care. Appreciate the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. What's up?
Okay, you know, I'm so glad we have these blockades stopping their money going into Iran. You know, I found out a long time ago that to get around restrictions with buying their oil and everything else from Iran, they were selling all their oil through Turkey. And then Turkey would sell it, and then, Turkey's selling it's okay. So now they finally figured out that Turkey was one of them. So now the blockade is stopping them, and now they're broke. And this is fantastic. You know, now they have, without money, everybody's going to leave.
Well, you know, for people that just tuned in, and at 6, I opened up with this. The Israeli television news obtained a leaked audio of the president of Iran after the delegation that didn't come to an agreement with J.D. Vance got back to Iran, and he was livid. and he was. It wasn't that he was yelling at them, angry. It was described as panicked at what, because everyone around him's dead. He's the only one left, and he doesn't want to get blown up. And he said they're out of money, that they don't even have enough money to pay people now. So they need to come to some agreement quick.
That's for sure. They're going to guarantee. Give it a couple more days. Something's going to come up, and it'll finally be something that we will okay. And I think this is big because if they were able to get around like they used to be able to get around and sell their oil to somebody else, then it's
it's so, the thing with Iran, because, you're older than me, so, but my whole life I've heard nothing about, other than problems from Iran all the time, constantly, right? And, and I remember Iran would be responsible for some terrorism somewhere, and then the American media, they did this after 9/11 too, but there'd be some Iranian terrorist event somewhere, and then, like, CBS News would find some Iranian living somewhere in America and ask them if they're okay. Like, are you being threatened? Are you in danger? And they would have these endless stories about Muslims who were living in fear because, Iranians were committing terror. They've really done a number on the American media. And what's going on right now very well may be the greatest American military victory in history, because we've taken out a major country that's been causing major problems for half a century with minimal loss of life without any boots on the ground. It's never been done before.
Unbelievable, fantastic, and to get rid of this Iran the way they've been is going to be the best accomplishment.
Now I got a question I want to throw out there to you. I bring this up because I've met you, and you like are in shape. Right? I mean, you've got, like, you've got, like, muscles and everything else, right? I mean, you're in shape. Is that, okay, I was watching yesterday George Takei, Sulu from Star Trek, okay? And, you guys know I'm a Star Trek fan, and he and I share a birthday, April 20th. And he was at a Star Trek convention, and he was in a wheelchair and with a blanket over his legs, and then I saw a picture of him with his husband. I'm such a Star Trek fan. I know George Takei's husband's name is Brad. Okay, that's how much of I know. Isn't that crazy? And and I saw him walking with George Takei, and he could hardly walk. George Takei. George Takei was like you. He worked out all the time. He ran in marathons, and all this. And I'm starting to wonder, is exercise really, is it good for you? Does it do any good whatsoever? Because George Takei, because I remember I'd go to, he would he ran in many a marathon, and when he would be at a Star Trek, he runs every morning. And, I went on a Star Trek cruise when I was 18. That's where I got the idea for our MAGA cruise, was from the Star Trek cruises that I went on when I was young. And on the Star Trek cruise, he would go jogging every day. If you were at a convention that he was at, he would go, if you could keep up with him, you could go jogging with him. So here's a guy like you who dedicates their life to fitness and exercise, and he's hobbling around in a wheelchair. And I see a lot of guys that spend their whole life in the gym. I mean, have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger lately? I saw him in Hollywood with his buddies. He could hardly get into his car. He can hardly stand up. So is it really, is what you're doing all the time, is it really good for your body?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Age. Once you get to a certain age, no matter what you do, work out, don't work out, your body just...
I don't know about that. You see Trump. Do you think Trump exercises? William Shatner's 93. He doesn't do any exercise. He's getting around. And I see guys that do what you do, that exercise all the time, and they're hobbling around.
Well, I still work at it almost every day. And try to maintain before
I don't know. What I'm wondering is the exercise, are you doing so much damage to your body through the exercise that when you get older, you're like, Schwarzenegger was like the definition of fitness. And have you seen him lately? He can't walk.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, same thing with Rocky there. What's his name?
Sylvester Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I saw him in the Oval Office and with Trump, and he could hardly stand up and walk. And he was another guy, like I remember when he did Predator, and Jesse Ventura was in Predator, was, you know, two governors in that movie, and Carl Weathers. And I remember seeing them on interviews talking about they had this competition, who could work out the longest in the morning. And I look at all these guys that dedicate their life, like you, to fitness. When they get older, they're done.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping. I know somebody that's 90 that's still playing tennis. So maybe it's just the age. Maybe it's just the work. Some people have.
Well, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just not. Maybe it's just your body. You know, I mean, in general, you're either meant to be feeble when you get older or not. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm looking at all these exercise people, and they don't look well when they get old.
You might be right. Might have burnt your body out, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. All the impact on your joints.
Certainly, my issues here and there.
Yeah. So I'm an anti-exercise advocate. All right, Doug, I appreciate the call. And of course, I bring this up because I want to tell everyone I lost all this weight with Coastal Weight Loss Secret without any exercise. And that's amazing. And, you know, Dr. Zuckerman, he said, well, if you exercise, you'd lose weight faster. But when I was losing about a pound a day without exercise and without starving myself and without taking shots or injections or pills and no surgeries, and without, I figured, well, about a pound a day is enough, right? I don't need to do all that exercise. I don't want to be like Schwarzenegger, or whoever would have thought somebody would say they don't want to be like Schwarzenegger, right? Go look at Schwarzenegger, all right? And you know, and Doug brought up Stallone. Did you see Stallone with, oh my goodness. So I am a non-exercise advocate. And you know, the thing with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, because people ask me sometimes, well, you know, how do you keep the weight off? It's because when I was losing the weight, I did not have major lifestyle changes. And what Dr. Zuckerman did at Coastal Weight Loss Secret was reset my metabolism. And he can do the same for you, and it works. And because he reset my metabolism, not changed where I'm become some workout fanatic, I'm easily able to keep off the weight. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret and schedule your no-charge consultation, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Skies will be cloudy today and temperatures mild, a high of 80. No mention of rain in the forecast for tonight. Clearing skies and a low of 70. For tomorrow, more sunshine mixed with clouds and a high of 82.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family.
Jesse, I haven't been watching.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On Community Drive at Haverhill Road, watch for emergency vehicles blocking the roadway. On Atlantic Avenue at High Point Boulevard, there's construction. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250, keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Ron Hersey.
That's your traffic brought to you by PBKC. This April, spring into winnings in the poker room at PBKC. Don't miss exciting daily tournaments highlighted by our $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight event running April 9th through the 12th. High hands hit every 15 minutes every day from 9 a.m. to midnight, plus $100,000 progressive weekends and a $25,000 cash giveaway. Bad beat jackpots and non-stop table game action. Get all the details now at pbkennelclub.com.
It's a deli, it's a bakery, it's a restaurant. We got cookies, we can cater anything.
Rabbit. But the word rape carries so
Come true. So get a group together, it's a two for you. It's a slice of New York in the Sunshine State. We got food you adore, and it's simply
Oh, my goodness.
Florida has been caring for communities across our state since 1976. We're locally managed by the same family for 3 generations, deeply rooted right here in the communities we serve. And that means something, because when care comes from neighbors, it comes with heart. At VA in Florida, we provide compassionate home care from a local team you can trust, expert clinical care with a personal touch, from skilled home services and therapy to personal care. We help patients recover, remain independent, and live safely at home. We feature private care services for daily support, medication assistance, Alzheimer's care, and so much more. Our team is known for clinical expertise, compassion, and long-standing relationships with providers and families. Families trust VNA to help their loved ones stay safe, comfortable, and independent at home. For more information, visit vnaflorida.org or call 772-295-5739.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years of...
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. All right. And I wanted to share this with you because we do like a compare and contrast. I pulled up 2 things here. First, I want to play Eric Swalwell's accuser, who said she was raped by Eric Swalwell. That's her allegation. At the press conference yesterday with Gloria Allred's daughter. I can never remember Gloria Allred's daughter's name. I know her last name's Bloom, but I can remember her first name, so I always call her Gloria Allred's daughter. But I believe her, and she was very believable, her story very specific. And then I've got another piece of audio that I'm going to play for you that I'll tell you what that is when we get to it. But the first one, this is the press conference yesterday in California. This is the woman who said she was raped by Eric Swalwell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shawna. In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, and I also owned a fashion software company, I had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially. He offered me connections to further my software company, and I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body.
You hear how nervous she is? A lot of detail. Very nervous. She's uncomfortable. She's looking down, right?
He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center in Connecticut. It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell. That reality further underscores the non-consensual nature of what occurred. It was a politically unusual and intense time in Beverly Hills, and I was considering a run for city council, which placed me in proximity to political figures and events and added to the pressure to remain composed and silent. Eric was aware I owned a software company, and he spoke repeatedly about his ability to make introductions in Silicon Valley, referencing his political representation and influence there. I was not interested in him romantically, but I was interested in the business relationship and professional connections he offered to provide. My delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power, his background as an attorney, and his family law enforcement ties. I have never doubted what happened. I stand with the other women who have come forward, and I will be making a report to law enforcement shortly with my attorneys.
Okay, now you listen to that. She is the most believable sex assault victim I've ever heard, who came out and had a press conference when they detailed their abuse by a public official. I've never heard someone so credible. But you can hear it. She's got details. She's told multiple people. She's got records of it. She put it in her daily diary, which she's provided and they can look at, and it's obviously legit because of where it is in this diary or journal, whatever it is. Campaign finance records show that he was paying for this hotel room with campaign funds, other people she told, and you can hear the trauma. She's a trauma victim, and you can hear and see the trauma. Now I want to play for you E. Jean Carroll on with Anderson Cooper, talking about her experience that she hallucinated about President Trump. This is E. Jean Carroll with Anderson Cooper.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished. Which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
Well, I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Oh my goodness. See the difference? You have a real victim, a real trauma victim, a real survivor, and then you have a raving lunatic putting on an acting performance. See the difference between the two? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Mark from New York. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mark, with your fake happiness, as usual with your calls?
Why do you assume people are fake?
No, I don't assume people are fake. Just you. I'm assuming you're fake. I know. That's why I take screenless calls, because I'm so cowardly.
When someone gives you facts that don't fit your narrative, you.
It is your. What are you talking like a child? No, when you call in, you always call in with this happiness and smile in your voice that is completely fake, unless you're psychotic. That's possible too. You are possibly psychotic.
When I talk to you,
No, it's the fake. It's the fake. It's the, hi, Brian, how are you today? Like you care. Anyway, why did you, what is, I know you're a happy person like all the other lefties. Why did you call today?
you said liberal Jews don't believe in Jesus. To be fair, no Jews believe in Jesus.
That's not true. I know many Jews who are Christian. No. Really? Jews don't believe? Jesus, excuse me. Jesus and the apostles were all Jews. They believed in the Messiah, Jesus.
Look it up, dude.
Look what up? Look what up, dude? Jews, there are Jews who believe and accept Jesus. Absolutely. You ever heard of Jews for Jesus?
What? Okay.
Jews for Jesus. Oh, Hasidic Jews in Israel? Well, no, yes, yeah. Come on. You know I didn't, Hasidic Jews? No. This is, I was talking about liberals. Most liberal Jews, okay, if you talk to most liberal Jews about Jesus, all right, they believe that Jesus was a man who lived. They just don't believe he was the Messiah. Most Jews will tell you, I've heard this so many times, he was born a Jew, he lived a Jew, he died a Jew, but they don't accept him as Messiah.
It's the same thing that I just said.
That's not what you said.
As the Son of God.
Okay.
So when you say liberals don't believe that, it's no Jews.
Well, that's not true. Steve Kane's a Jew. He's a Christian. I have known many a Jewish Christian in my life. I know people in my personal life who are Christians that are also Jews. Becoming Christian doesn't mean you're no longer a Jew. Do you know what makes someone a Jew, since you're such an expert? What makes someone a Jew? There's one thing. You have to have one thing. Correctamundo. If your mom's a Jew, you're a Jew. Correct. That's why Jared Kushner had Ivanka convert so that the kids would be Jews.
Okay, but about the Pope, because you were talking about the Pope today. So he's political because he doesn't believe in children being killed in a war?
No, the Pope has gotten involved in politics, very much so.
What did he say that was so political that he?
On the 4th of July, no, he's been very vocal about his opposition to President Trump's immigration policies and deportations. On the 4th of July, the Vatican announced the Pope will not come to the United States. He's going to this island where the Africans go to before they invade Europe as a symbol of his support for the illegals of Europe. He's been very political about Trump.
I believe that the Pope doesn't think that anyone's illegal because Jews migrated.
Really, the Pope? Okay, the Pope doesn't believe anyone's illegal. So if somebody commits a murder or shoplifting, the Pope doesn't think that they've done something illegal.
Well, he doesn't believe what Benny Johnson said, that 13,000 Americans were killed.
What I know is this. Anytime you bring up something, I shoot it down instantly, and you immediately try to pivot to another topic. Now, I don't know if that, excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting. I don't know if you just can't debate and defend your positions, or if you've got attention deficit disorder. But I got to take a break. I'm late for the break. Take care. Thanks for the call. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
Cold. Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. This is Richie the bus driver.
Yeah, this is Richie.
Oh, and Barry? Yeah.
39 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever.
Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
This is Steve Can. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious.
Yes, you use sign language in broadcasting. There's all kinds of sign language in broadcasting. It's kind of faded away. People don't use it so much anymore. But
Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs. That's why I need any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my
if you're on hold, hang in there, guys.
to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfield Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Pamela Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Maplewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
This is Jamie Levac with Swift Tax. With the big beautiful bill, I can help you with your federal, state, city, and income tax. The Treasury Secretary said that this year, taxpayers will be receiving the biggest refund they've had in years. We at Swift Tax will maximize your refund. Call me now, 954-773-1587. That number rings directly to my cell phone, 954-773-1587.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, you know, a lot of people, as we're aging in our retirement years, are concerned will be, how am I going to pay for the high cost of long-term care? And most of you who are listening to this do not have long-term care insurance. And even if you do, you might be worried that it may not cover you or you and your spouse for the entirety of the amount of time that it's going to take to take care of you, whether it be at home or in a facility. So now you have a second chance, and that second chance is one of the three ways to pay for long-term care. We talked about long-term care insurance. The second way is to use your own funds, which is exactly what you want to avoid, spending down your assets and going broke or drastically changing your financial situation. And the third way is to apply for government benefits, and that benefit is Medicaid. The problem is, for most people, most people think Medicaid is not for them, and that they will jump to the conclusion that they can't qualify, when for most of you that is not the case. Most of you can qualify, and that's why you need to come in and see us for a free audit of your current situation, so we can see either A, if you are eligible already, B, what things we need to do now to make sure that you can be eligible in the future, or if you do need Medicaid now, or your loved one needs Medicaid now, we can help them become eligible and qualify them right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, by the way, that's for nursing home care, at-home care. What are some of the types of care that would cover?
Home care, assisted living facilities, and nursing homes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's amazing. You know, I've been to many of your workshops about the Medicaid planning, and I know, Barry, you can't say it, but I'm just, pretty much everybody I know whose last name is not Trump, with the Siegel Law Group, you probably can qualify, you know. And don't take advice from your friends or let the Google do the walking, because you're going to get bad advice that could really destroy your surviving spouse or family financially. Give the Siegel Law Group a call. Make sure you mention that you heard Barry on the program so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we'll talk later in the week. All right, take care. All right, we'll take a call or two, then I've got some more things I want to get to. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Dan. I'm calling from Utah.
You're calling from where?
Utah.
Dan in Utah. Okay, Dan, what's up?
So, I heard you talking about the Pope earlier. I disagree with you a little bit. I don't think he's, he's a little bit politicized. But what makes you think he's politicized?
He's been criticizing President Trump's immigration policy since day one, just as an example.
I can criticize his policy without being, politicized.
When you're criticizing his immigration policy, you're criticizing his political agenda and policies. That's political.
Okay. So can I ask how you feel about men and women's sports?
No, because I'm not going to go from question to question. I answered your first question. I'm sure you do. Yes, that's my goodness. Oh my goodness. See the sexual harassment I've got to put up with. Could somebody please tell Kristi Noem's husband to stop calling this program? That's like the second or third time he's called. I know we have something in common, our first name, Brian Noem. Please stop calling the program. Oh my goodness. When I get these perverted guys like that, you got to feel sorry for women. These weirdo guys that have this fetish for me. Women deal with that all the time, right? I mean, by men everywhere. You really got to feel for the women. If you're on hold, stand by while we wait for the delay to re-engage. Oh, my goodness. It's a living. Okay, so President Trump was on Fox this morning, and I'm going to play you a clip or two of it. This is with Bartiromo, and he's talking about Iran if they don't play ball. Listen.
You've had a real reaction to the blockade. Are you happy with the reaction since you put this blockade in place in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's been pretty amazing, actually. I thought that was going to happen. They reacted to this even, I think, we've obliterated them. And this almost seems to be more of a reaction than we had before. So we'll see. I mean, look, it only matters the end result. And we're doing very well. We started off with Venezuela. We showed everybody how good. I rebuilt and built the military in my first term. I didn't know I was going to be using it this much, but we have the greatest military in the world, not even a contest. And think of it, they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, everything's been wiped out, they have no anti-aircraft equipment, they have no radar, they have no leaders. The leaders they have now, it's a new regime, okay? And we find them pretty reasonable, to be honest with you. By comparison, pretty reasonable. It really is a new regime. And I think we're doing very well, but it only matters what the end result is, and maybe it'll happen fairly soon. Who knows?
And you told me on Sunday that you think they will ultimately consent and say they're not going to continue building a nuclear weapon. How will you verify?
Well, first of all, if they don't, we're not making a deal, okay? So there's no deal. This whole thing is really about no nuclear. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if they're going to have a nuclear weapon, we'll be living with them for a little while, but I don't know how much longer they can survive. I don't know how much longer they can go because they've been hit very hard. And as an example, we could take out every one of their bridges in 1 hour. We could take out every one of their power plants, electric power plants, in 1 hour. We don't want to do that because someday you're going to have to rebuild, and it takes you 10 years to rebuild a bridge. Even if you're Trump, it takes a long time, and power plants are just as bad. So we'll see what happens.
Did you get any pushback, like from the Chinese or the Saudis?
Okay, yeah, I mean, so, he's still playing ball. And, the thing about what's going on with Iran, do you know a couple things about that? When he says reasonable in comparison, now that they don't have the religious fanatic leader, and, the president of Iran, when the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, is around, he's just a bureaucrat that, just handles the office day to day. He's got that lunatic supreme leader who's, causing all the trouble. That's what he means. And he's also scared. He doesn't want to get blown up like everybody else that he used to go to meetings with. But do you know what's protecting Iran right now? That's the United States military. I want you to think about it. If all of a sudden, the United States, we didn't have an army, a navy, an air force, a marine corps, space force, if we had no military all of a sudden today, how long do you think it would take before this country was attacked and invaded without mercy from around the world? It would happen because, a lot of countries around the world hate us. Even Canada might invade us, right? They seem to hate us these days. At least Carney does. The rest of the Middle East hate Iran because they've been causing them so much problems, and they've been bullying them through their backing and financing of terrorism, to their terror organizations that they have and fund, to their military and everything else. And now that they have no military whatsoever, they're a big bully of a country who's been bullying all their neighbors for decades, not just us, but bullying their neighbors for decades, and now they can't protect themselves. The only thing that's keeping them from getting bombed and invaded by the rest of the Middle East is the United States. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. The delay is re-engaged. If you'd like to call in, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian. We'll be back right after this. Hey, did you hear me? I told Mike what the problem was. It was I'm embarrassed. The Q speaker was on the phone pot. That's what did it. Which I've always done. I never got that before, but that's what did it. So it's stupid.
No.
I'm surprised we didn't figure that out last week as we.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out because I've been listening and we were going to try to mimic the problem.
That's what the problem was. I told Mike I'm embarrassed. It's so stupid. Just boom, boom. That was it.
Q coming back.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha. Well, good. I'm glad you figured
Well,
it out.
no. Sorry to put you.
Packages? No.
I did. Actually, they gave me some a Chipotle gift card, a Starbucks gift card.
That's nice.
Some nice coasters, 250th anniversary America coasters.
Good. How was the cruise?
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys have a good time?
Are you kidding? I'm still hungover.
Our next one is scheduled next February.
Oh, you going? Where are you going?
We're going to Eastern Caribbean. It's the Super Bowl cruise.
Oh, okay.
We've gone. This will be our 4th cruise. It's great.
Where are you stopping off at? On the big TV on the back of the. Yeah. Where are you going? Do you know?
You know what?
You don't care. I'm the same way. I don't care either.
I just want to go, get away, relax.
It's the best way to go because you're on a hotel and sometimes I'll go on these cruises. I'll spend $0 once I'm on board. I don't gamble.
We do, but
You gamble?
we set a goal.
Yeah.
You know, we'll take $300.
Yeah.
And once you're done, you're done. I got lucky last time. We just got back February. I took my $300. I made $2,200.
Get out of town.
Paid
for the cruise. Oh my gosh. What date was that? Like at the beginning of the cruise?
That was.
Or the end or
believe it
middle?
not, the last day.
Really? Because everyone tells me the casino pays better in the beginning, right?
We've seen a couple like that, but then the last 2 cruises, I did great at the end.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah.
As long as you
Like
leave.
$50 a night.
There were these guys on our cruise. They were playing roulette, and they were watching YouTube videos on how to play, and they were doing pretty well, but it's very complex. I don't understand roulette.
Yeah. We're just playing the games.
Yeah.
Lisa loves to sit there, and she's doing penny slots. She's there forever.
My wife likes the slots. I can't. If I'm at the casino with my wife, I can't go to the men's room.
She keeps feeding it?
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, I mean,
I hate
where can
that.
you go on vacation for $1,800 or $2,000, and you got everything?
Foods include 5-star meals, drinks. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's the best way. You don't have to drive anywhere once you're there.
You got nothing to worry about. We'll plan next year. We'll all go.
Yes.
We'll do the show live.
That's right. That'll be good.
We got all the gear now.
That's right. That'll be awesome. Oh, that's correct. Yes. So we were cruise talking during the break. I went to the casino, the Seminole Casino, with my wife, and me. I don't gamble, and we're up. I go to the men's room. I come back, and then we're down. But that's the way it works. All right, listen, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right, celebrating 49 years on the radio. All right, now, this week has been really, the last 7 days have been a miraculous week. I saw something yesterday. This would have been a great week for Charlie Kirk. I saw something very funny about Charlie Kirk yesterday, okay? And I would love to have heard him have to deal with this week, but the Never Trumpers assassinated him, so we can't hear him deal with this. But remember when, I saw this yesterday, remember when Charlie Kirk said that he, I can't remember the exact quote, but if he gets on a plane and the pilot's black, he assumes they're a DEI hire and he's nervous about flying. Remember that? And the pilot for Artemis 2 was Victor Glover, who's a black man, right? So Charlie Kirk would have had to deal with that this week like no one's business. Now, the defense of that was there was an airline executive who was bragging that they had the #1 hires of DEI pilots at their airline, and they're very excited, So there was an issue. He didn't just randomly say that, but man, it would have been fun to hear him have to deal with that. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey Renee, how are you? Uh-huh. Who dressed up as Jesus? Who dressed up as Jesus?
Your boy.
I don't have a son.
You don't notice.
You said my boy. I don't have a son. Who dressed up as Jesus?
It's your lover.
My mother?
Your lover.
My wife?
Your lover, Trump.
Trump dressed as Jesus? When did Trump dress up as Jesus?
When he's trying to bring himself as
Listen. Hold on, Renee. You're a little mixed up, okay? This is what happens when you don't follow the news, okay? There was a meme that was created by AI that some people believe was Trump portrayed as Jesus, that he posted to Truth Social. He didn't actually. Did you thought he actually put on a Jesus costume? Is that what you thought?
Look, I'm not that stupid.
Well, you said you told me that he dressed up as Jesus.
Yeah, because he did.
No, there was an AI-generated image that was a cartoon image of Trump dressed in clothes that look like what Jesus wears in the Bible depiction. Yeah, he didn't actually put clothes on in a costume.
Because Jesus was a black man. That's the first thing.
Yes, I know.
No, you don't know.
Yes.
You really don't know. There's a lot you really don't know.
Uh-huh. You know, if there's this dressing up as Jesus, I love someone yesterday. I wish I would have thought of this yesterday myself, but I saw someone yesterday. I can't remember who it was. It was on one of the television shows, and they said, "Look, Trump's got all the atheists talking and defending Jesus all of a sudden," which I love. But you know, this idea of Jesus portraying yourself as Jesus being offensive. You know, if you go to when Halloween comes around. If you go to any costume store in America, they all sell Jesus costumes. All of them. Every single one of them. People. Now, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't dress up as Jesus, but people do. And they sell the costumes at Party City and all these costume stores. Spirit Halloween. You go to any Spirit Halloween, they have a whole section of Jesus costumes.
Well, the fact of the matter is, didn't look like that, but he was trying to look like that.
No. What I'm telling you is if it's so outrageous, according to you liberals, okay, I find it very funny. He looks stupid. You know, if dressing up as Jesus is so offensive to the American left all of a sudden, why does Spirit Halloween sell those? Why aren't you guys picketing Spirit Halloween every Halloween?
You don't listen. I don't think it's outrageous. I think it's funny.
Well,
Jesus was a black man. Moses was a black man.
What does that have to do? Okay, no. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Renee. Hold on, Renee. Okay, let's just say that Jesus was black. I don't agree with that, but you know he was. Okay, but let's just say just for the discussion, what difference does that make? What is the relevance of the skin color of Jesus or Moses?
Different because you portrayed him as the Christ of punishment.
All right.
Everybody to pray to, and it's a lot.
No. Jesus' skin color has nothing to do with the message of Jesus. So I just don't understand why you put so much relevance into that. That's what I'm trying to get to.
A lot of relevance to it. Because there are a lot of imitation pictures that come out in that day.
All right. You know, Renee, the connection with you is so bad, I shouldn't even be talking to you, but you sound so unhinged. I'm trying to get you to blow off some steam before you start your day.
That's because you keep cutting me off.
I'm not cutting you off. It's just you've got a bad cell phone connection. You know, maybe they've you know, those Obama phones were given out a long time ago. You might be like on a 2 or 3G phone.
And I was going to answer you, the first president this country ever had was Barack Obama.
Really? Tell me what Obama did that made him the greatest president.
Get elected.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because this country is
What did he do for the country?
Get elected.
Okay. Who just sent you a text message? Who just sent you a I heard your phone go off. Who just sent you a text?
I don't know.
Who would be texting you? Who would be texting you?
I have no idea.
Okay. You got a check? Was that a text message or was that the ankle bracelet? Which was it?
Ankle bracelet?
Yeah.
For yourself, aren't you?
No. I'm not under house arrest.
You know what an ankle bracelet is? You would know about that.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Fine. You're the one that sounds like
You know, we just won the war with Iran. How do you feel about that?
If you think you beat Iran, you're dumber than
Really?
Yeah, because Iran is not way. You beat them? You are doing that?
All right. I think you've blown off enough steam. I'm going to let you go. The connection's really bad. I shouldn't even have you on the air.
Fine.
Uh-huh. I know you can hear me, but I'm having a hard time hearing. I just think you're so unglued, you're not holding the phone properly to your mouth. Yeah, you're just completely unhinged. Is it who when it comes to the war with the United States and Iran, who do you want to win the war? Which side are you rooting for?
Iran.
You want Iran to win.
Yep.
You want Iran to win against the United States in the war.
Yeah.
Why?
Because this country is imperial.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, so hold on a second. For them to win, that means American service personnel would have to die. Soldiers, airmen, sailors. You want American service personnel to die?
If you're dumb enough to set up for this stupid venture, good for you.
He's only been in his second term for not even a year and a half. So a huge number of the people in the military have enlisted or re-enlisted when Biden was president. Trump wasn't president when a huge chunk of them, maybe even the majority, enlisted. Right? It's 4-year enlistment for a lot of people. Some it's even more. So you want American service you want Iran to win the war, and American service personnel to die, so that Iran can win. Well, how would they win the war? How would Iran win the war?
By having American.
Oh my goodness! I wish that this phone was a clear connection today with you. I really wish it was, so that everyone could hear you. You know you're committing treason, right?
Oh, really?
You said that you want the United States to lose and you want Iran to win the war. That's treason. All right, I gotta let you run, but that's you know. I kept him on with the poor quality call because I was going to ask him that. I just wanted to loosen him up a little bit before I went for it. And I was hoping the phone connection would get a little bit better, but that's pretty brutal, isn't it? All right. Let me talk about Life Imaging FLA. You know, Life Imaging FLA, as we approach, the summer will be here before you know it. Summer vacations, you know, we just had our cruise. I was just talking during the break with someone about vacations and cruising. You know, before you take a trip, go to Life Imaging FLA, get the heart scan. You know, you've heard the listeners who have called me on the air who find out they have blockage or another heart condition or have tumors or have cancer. They had no idea, no symptoms, and they find out they have all these health issues. You know, you may have gone in for a physical, you think you're okay, and then you're not. And, of course, the first sign of a heart attack is instant death. Unless you go to Life, and that's true, unless you go to Life Imaging FLA and find out before. You know, when I went in for that scan, I assumed I was going to go from there to the ER and I'd have surgery scheduled by the end of the week. I would have stents put in or some bypass. I assumed I was going to have major blockage. And I got a good clean bill of health. No blockage, no buildup, no cancer, no tumors. And the peace of mind and the weight that has been lifted off my shoulders is amazing. Call Life Imaging FLA. They have locations, by the way, in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan right now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on this.
Yeah, Annette, she sent me the gift card to Chipotle and Starbucks, Charlie Kirk's last book. I mean, it's a bunch of other stuff too. I mean, a lot. So I appreciate it, Annette.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
Yeah, so Renee from Harlem said he wants Iran to win the war against the United States, and if American service personnel have to die, he said that's their fault for signing up. That sadly is not the first time liberals have called this show. We had that have felt that way. There used to be a guy, Pat, liberal guy Pat, and this goes way back. When Iraq fell and Saddam Hussein was on the run, he said that Saddam Hussein could use his home as a safe house from U.S. forces. Remember that guy? And oh my goodness, there's been a long history of liberals in this program rooting for America's enemies in time of war. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm John Brown. How was that, Steve? I don't want a pedophile.
Okay, all right, John Brown. That's nice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Frank from Martin County.
Frank from MAGA Martin County. What's up, Frank?
Yeah, I really talk about the Pope. I think the Pope should stay within his job description and crusade the earth for Jesus and the Father. And if you're so adept at world views today, open up the gates of the Vatican to all these people, to the millions of people, and maybe you'll change them.
Well, I wouldn't want them to do that. I wouldn't want them to do that. They would, all the great artwork and everything would be destroyed and looted.
I think the Pope could take some examples from Billy Graham, who actually crusaded the world and got behind quite a few of our presidents as a friend and a mentor to a lot of our presidents.
Well, listen, this thing with the Pope, though, and it pains me to say, because I'm not going to get in a position where I'm critical of the Pope person. I'm Catholic, and it's just not. However, we're really getting an inside look at what There's a story that came out yesterday of all these documents about the coup against President Trump that Vindman was a part of, with the impeachment and everything else. But now we're getting this other beginnings of what may be a Democrat Party conspiracy to get an American elected Pope. And the president's hinted to this. And with this, the Pope met with Axelrod. He's either met or is meeting with Obama. According to CNN, I think Obama already met with him. There's obviously the Democrats, the political establishment, the never-Trumpers. It looks like they had a hand in the election of the Pope. And that's why we got an American Pope out of the blue, who is from Chicago and is spending his days criticizing President Trump. It's really amazing and frightening at the lengths that the never-Trumpers have gone, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Within his job description and stop meddling in with the business of the president of the world.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. The Pope is very much open to criticism when he's not on the papal throne and talking about church things. When he's getting involved in anything that's earthly, he is always, all the popes are open for criticism. Long-standing tradition. So this idea that you can't disagree with the popes, like as an example, the previous Pope, Pope Francis, was big into the climate change garbage. He used to talk about that all the time, all the green crap. Right? And yeah. All right, I appreciate the call. You take care. All right, let's go. And I just love all these, and I will tell you, when I go to Spirit Halloween and I see the Jesus costumes, and I see the nun costumes. They have like the sexy nun costume. I find that very offensive. I don't like that, but it's okay to offend people. This idea that all of a sudden, you can't criticize the Pope, or any depiction of Jesus is inappropriate and all this stuff. These are just things that the liberals have made up. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe from New Jersey.
Hey, Joe. What's up?
Not much. I just wanted to let you know that the Jewish people rejected Jesus Christ, and therefore the Gentile non-Jewish people.
Did they? Because my understanding was that you say the Jews rejected Jesus. My understanding, again, really the apostles were the apostles were all Jews.
So was Jesus. We love
Okay, so the Jews didn't all. Hold on a second. Not all Jews rejected Jesus. No, they didn't. The apostles didn't.
Yeah, you're right.
All of the early Christians were Jews.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If of their synagogue, whatever they call it, they rejected Christ and they had him executed. But that was part of our plan. We needed Christ to die because he was the perfect sacrifice.
Yes.
Pay for every man's sin. But they didn't see that, so they rejected him.
But why? Yeah, this is true. Yes.
Are now part of my inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Now grafted into the tree of life. We are the chosen, the non-Jew.
Well, I know a lot of Jews that are Christians too.
Bless them. I have family who are Jews for Jesus.
They're Jews and they're Christian. Yeah, Jews for Jesus. Mm-hmm.
They opened up their eyes and accepted Christ, and we hope they all do.
Okay.
All right? Keep doing your thing.
All right. Take care. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, good. Ken from Hollywood.
Hollywood, Florida, or Hollywood, California?
Hollywood, Florida.
I know. What's up?
Quick, just want to get your thought on that.
By the way, I got to tell you, last time I was down in Hollywood, I was in shock at the renovations at Young Circle. Hollywood used to be such a dump. It really was, and it's really nice now.
Building and all over the place.
Yeah, I know. They cleaned out all the homeless and everything out there. And anyway, the reason for your call today.
Yeah, real fast. Just want to get your opinion on the Pope's going to get involved politically. Maybe they should lose their tax-exempt status then. What do you think about that?
The Catholic Church?
Yeah, imagine that.
I don't know about that. Listen, this is not the first Pope to get political. I mean, pretty much most of them are. Even Pope John Paul II, right? Pope John Paul, was very much responsible for the downfall of the Soviet Union. He worked with President Reagan to bring down the Soviet Union. He was from Poland, and remember Lech Wałęsa was the Union labor leader in Poland, and he had a personal connection. So it's not new for popes to get involved in politics. A lot of them have, okay, but maybe all of them, right? But when you get involved in politics, it's fair game to criticize you about that. It's not fair game to criticize the Pope when it comes to churchly things or godly things, okay? But when they get involved in earthly matters, it is okay. And I'll tell you, these priests that CBS interviewed are hardcore left-wing lunatic priests, okay? And President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. Probably one of the biggest principles that the Catholic Church has fought for is to end abortion in the modern times, right? And he overturned Roe v. Wade, which was an incredible victory for the world and for the Catholic Church as well. And I don't see the Pope or anyone congratulating him for doing that. I mean, there have been millions of babies already born because he overturned Roe v. Wade already.
Maybe I should rephrase it. Maybe if it is discovered that they did meddle in getting him elected as Pope for the overthrow or whatever they're trying to do, the Trump, then maybe.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm very, and let me tell you what I worry about. Cardinal Dolan, who was the Cardinal of New York, Cardinal Dolan just retired. And Cardinal Dolan in New York is very conservative. And I know they say he reached the maximum age. I don't know. I see some priests around that are pretty old. But it does seem to me that that's something that should be investigated. What was David Axelrod and the DNC and the Democrat leadership's connection and role in the papal election? Because I'm starting to think it's not just a coincidence that we got an American pope all of a sudden. I'm glad we have one, but I was talking yesterday. I've got a picture of Pope Leo on the wall in my living room. I've never had a picture of a pope up on my wall before.
In Poland, where he was born, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited about him. I was hoping he would, and if he were to visit here in Miami, I'd be right there to try to meet him or touch his robe or be within his, So I'm and another thing about the Pope, the reason this Pope seems more political than others is because he speaks English. So the other ones, they may have spoken English, but it was like their third, fourth, or fifth language, right? So for the first time ever, we have an English first language Pope. So members of the media, by the way, I've heard members of the media, when Pope Leo first became Pope, there was the Vatican correspondent it was either NBC or CBS News. They said it was a whole new experience for them because for the first time, they could talk to interview the Pope in his own language, which was English. And they were talking about how, so another reason this Pope seems more political than other popes is because English is his first language. He is from Chicago, so this is his home. And he's going to comment on things happening in America because this is his home, America. And the press can talk to him. The other popes, they could talk to them, but either through a translator or broken English. It's just not the same thing. So there's a lot of reasons why he seems more political than the others, but they've all been political, I think. All of them, in my lifetime at least, since I've been an adult.
That's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your opinion. Appreciate it.
All right, well, I thank you for your call. All right, take care. All right, little upgrade from Renee from Harlem. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm hoping Steve will be back this week. I wasn't joking. I talked to Steve yesterday, and this is not a joke. I said, I got to get you on the air this week. People are asking. I need to get a proof of life out there, okay? So anyway, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Skies will be cloudy today and temperatures mild, a high of 80. No mention of rain in the forecast for tonight. Clearing skies and a low of 70. For tomorrow, more sunshine mixed with clouds and a high of 82.
Hey, how's it going? Good. A listener sent me all this stuff. I got it all spread out here. 250th anniversary coasters, Christmas ornaments, stuff for my cat, gift certificate to Chipotle, a gift certificate to Starbucks. It is very nice. Yeah, I've got nice listeners. A birthday card. Yeah.
Look like some slippers there too.
Yeah, slippers, T-shirts. Most all of my Trump shirts and hats listeners have sent me.
Oh, really?
Most of them.
I was just looking at that one from behind. I didn't realize it said 2020.
Oh, this is the one this is one I've got more Trump hats than anyone. But yeah, this is an old one. Yeah.
How you been, Irene?
Good. I saw you updated some of the thumbnail stuff.
Yeah,
It's helped and it's working. I can see it's gotten some more.
Definitely working. Yeah.
Did you have something specific? Because I had somewhere I was going to go with you today. Okay, all right, okay.
That's good. Yeah. I thought Wednesdays may be a good day for me to come in every Wednesday, if that works for you.
That's fine.
I mean, if
It's fine.
Fridays or Thursdays are better, that's fine.
Oh, it's probably better to rotate it.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, but Wednesdays are fine.
Okay. Only
It's
reason
better.
I mention that is because we're going to try to start doing our shows on Wednesday and Thursday.
At 6.
At 6, yeah. And then, so they...
Okay, so we can promote the show. Okay.
Just stop in for a multi-point inspection, saving you money in the long run. Palm City Auto Repair and Collision is your one-stop shop. Been in an
I
accident?
get busy now.
Call
Just
today for a free estimate.
It's so much work lately. Just
Don't complain.
And meeting with clients.
Yep.
The other part of the job. Think the war's going to be over soon?
I don't know. These Iranians are nuts.
I just watched him on Maria Bartiromo this morning.
Yeah.
He said he was hoarse because he was screaming at them.
Yeah, and plus he's probably been on Iran time the last few weeks because he's dealing with all these people over there. He's probably not sleeping on our schedule, you know what I mean?
Do you know they said that that's the first time in 10 years that we've ever spoken to the Iranians personally?
It's crazy.
10 years.
Oh, he talked to them personally, he said?
Yeah, yeah. That's why he was hoarse more than he usually is.
Well, they're nuts. I mean, they're crazy. They're suicidal. I mean,
The market's been affected by it, but now it's coming back because they know it's going to end soon.
yeah.
And gas prices aren't it's up there, but it's not.
They'll go down as fast as they go up once they.
So you can see the market changing its tune.
Yeah.
They know as soon as it's over, the market's going to change.
Yes. So they get yeah. All right.
to help their loved ones stay safe, comfortable, and independent at home. For more information, visit vnaflorida.org or call 772-295-5730.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating
All right, and Jupiter Joe Thomas is in studio. You know what I wanted to talk to you about today, Joe? I don't like to tell you what we're going to talk about before on, so get you. But a couple days ago, did you see this woman went to the White House, the DoorDash grandma?
Yes.
You know, and this nice lady, she's a grandma, the DoorDash grandma. She drives for DoorDash in Arkansas, and she went to the White House, and she's working as a grandma because her husband has cancer, and it's you know, it's an expense thing. And I was thinking about you because a couple of things with annuities. One. A lot of people that are seniors, like DoorDash grandma, are working when you know they really don't want to work.
Sure.
I mean, driving DoorDash. I mean, it's a good opportunity if you need the money, but driving around for a living like that doesn't pay a lot.
She made 14,000 deliveries.
Yeah.
14,000.
So she's working a lot of hours.
That's hard to do.
And with an annuity, you know, you get that monthly income coming in.
Yes.
And that monthly income, obviously, it depends on you know how much you invest and all, but that monthly income, in most cases, is equal to or greater than what you could work in these kind of jobs, I would think.
Yeah. Number one, I always tell people put money to work that you can now while you're younger. Now, what younger means is 50s, 60s, 70s. Even I got a guy coming in at 81 years of age. He said, "Look, I've done this. But I need to do more."
Yeah.
And he's still working. And a lot of our people that come in as clients want to retire. Some of them are forced to, some of them want to, and some of them don't want to, you know? And I got to tell you, it's really about income. The more income you have, the less worries you're going to have. It's that simple, man.
Well, I take Ubers and Lyft sometimes, and it surprises me how old some of the drivers are.
Yeah, yeah. I had a guy come to the house. My wife has Publix delivered once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And some of these people are 80s, and they're not doing it because they want to. They have to.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I love hard work. I mean, I'm still working, right? I enjoy work, and some people have told me, in fact, I was talking to my nephew up north, he owns a garage door business. He said, a very wealthy guy said, don't retire. That's great, but, you know, nobody wants to retire, but some people are forced to retire. That's
Well, you know, well, hold on. Yeah, I agree. You know, I know people that have fully retired and then their mind goes to mush because they have no hobbies or something. You know, you got to be able to keep busy, right? You know, and if you're fully retired and you have no money, you can't afford to do things. You know, so you know, a lot of people out there, and I know some of you are, you know, of a certain age, and you're working, and maybe you're doing the DoorDash or you know, or Uber, you know, and call Joe Thomas. You very well may not need to do it. But another thing too, Joe, is with the health issue. One of the annuities that you've talked to me about before helped people if there is a health problem.
Yeah, I have it for me and my wife.
So what's this about? Talk about this, because
So
this
you
is
have an income stream that's guaranteed for the rest of your life. forever. So let's say you're getting $2,000 or $3,000 a month from one of these annuities. It's guaranteed for life. As long as you live, you're getting it and your spouse gets it. If either one of you ever gets sick and can't perform 2 of your daily activities of daily living, what would happen is they double your income. So instead of getting $2,000 a month, you now get $4,000 a month for 5 years. It helps pay some of those bills.
Yeah, the income doubler.
Yeah, and it's paid to you, and you can hire somebody. You have to send it to a nursing home or home health. It goes to you, and you pay whoever you want. You got to hire your children to come help you.
And that's something. I mean, because with most people, the annuity, it's the husband and the wife. So if either of them, you get the income doubler.
Correct.
So when I saw the DoorDash grandma, and she's working hard and everything, but man, if she had an annuity, she wouldn't have to drive day and night for DoorDash, and she would, and she could have the extra money to help her husband.
Anybody listening right now, we just did a show called Dead Money, and it was about how to put money to work that's sitting around that you have as in a savings account, a checking account, an emergency fund that never happens. Now is the time. The emergency is right now. Take that money and invest it and do something with it and make money. The other thing is, one thing I want to bring up, our show tonight is never lose a dime. Never lose a dime. You will never lose a dime in an annuity. Disclosure, don't cash it in early. You have a surrender charge. But you will never lose it to market downturn or anything, because you get a fixed rate of interest guaranteed. And
Yeah.
the words guaranteed, nobody else does except annuities.
Exactly. And I've known so many people, and I know you guys out there have too. Someone retires, they sell their house, and then they take that money, they buy an RV, and they drive around, and then you see them a year or two later, the RV's gone, and they're broke. When a lot of times when people downsize, and I know people that have done this too, they downsize because the kids are grown up, and they get a condo. You take that money, you put it into an annuity, you're set.
So you've had a couple phone calls from some of our clients,
Oh, yeah.
listeners, and several of them have said they inherited money, and they put it with Joe Thomas and invested in an annuity. Those are smart people because they don't want to lose it. They know these people had accidents. They had car accidents that took 3 years, 5 years to settle. One lady told me she's got pain in her upper extremities that won't go away. This lady deserves to win $1 million, in a lawsuit.
And I was listening to your show a couple weeks ago, and you had someone, the auctioneer.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about how much money he had in his bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not doing anything for you.
No, and he's a guy that I've been dealing with for years and years. He used to be in the radio business, right? Jay Zeger. And he realized that he needed help. And he said, do you remember me? I'm like, yeah, of course I remember you, man. And anyway, make a long story short, he needed help. And we took care of his retirement plan. He said, now I've got a plan. And the money sitting in the bank was doing nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah. So listen, guys, give Joe Thomas a call. And one last thing I want to mention is don't make the mistake of thinking you don't have enough money for an annuity. Take advantage of the no-charge consultation with Joe Thomas and tell him everything. And I know sometimes, people may think, well, I don't have anything and I'm embarrassed to call. Don't be. It's like your doctor, all right? Call Joe, set up that no-charge consultation, tell him your situation, and let him tell you what he can do for you. Don't assume. It's 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, Joe, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Brian.
And give him a call, guys. All right. Let me take a call or two. And hopefully we can raise the bar from some of these calls we've had. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Okay. I took the time to look for your phone number. I was listening. I'm from Supporters. I wrote for him 3 times. I just had a time my and this time I had to listen to it. Things are lost. He took the step like here and down.
Wait a second. What did he do that upset you? Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. He deleted it. Wait a minute. Excuse me, can we have a discussion about this? You don't have to be rude. I'm trying to be polite. Okay. Hold on a second here. I want to give you some more detail on what happened. You're not interested? You just want to trash him? Okay. Okay. I can tell. He posted the meme at night, right? And he went to bed. He woke up in the morning and then saw the outrage about it and realized, you know what, it may not have been a good idea, and he deleted it, which is an admission that he shouldn't have done it. You don't ever make mistakes? You're a perfect person? Never make a mistake? No, he posted it. He posted it at night, okay, around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and he deleted it during the day the next day. I don't remember what time exactly he deleted it, but he deleted it the next day during the day, which is an admission that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I didn't realize, and he took it down. So I think that's commendable. Okay, we won you over. All right, I appreciate the call. I got to move on. See, won her over there. All right, let's check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
A little bit of profit taking, and that's what we're getting this morning. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $47.87 on the low, all the way up to $4,872. And right now, we're at $4,810 the ounce. That's down $29.90. Wow. Silver at $78.50, down 91 cents. Overnight, we did get as high as $81.14. Platinum down $1 at $2,100, and palladium up $4 at $15.71.
Wow, things are looking good. I mean, these numbers, I still haven't gotten used to these numbers with silver and gold. I just have not gotten used to it. Maybe you have, I don't know, but I hear these numbers, and when I hear down, it just doesn't compute with where they're at, because it's just phenomenal what's going on. Listen, guys, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. If you can stop in his shop in Boca, please do. He's located on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. You can also call toll-free 800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. And online, you'll find both his phone number and address at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Are we taking a break, Mike? Okay, we're done? We're going to take a break? All right, we'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
Hello, this is Mike with Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. All right. Oh, boy. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Miss Faye from Texas.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I wanted to have a little, take it from a different level of concerning a Swalwell. People need to hold spouses, kids, themselves, other countries, your kids, your teenagers, hold other people accountable for what they do. I think the spouses, his wife, and people, they should have held him accountable a long time ago that he shouldn't be running around in the marriage. The teenagers shouldn't be running around breaking things and taking over cities. Hold other people accountable. Hold Iran accountable for what it's done to its citizens. If you do that, then we're going to hold you accountable and you're going to face these charges. What do you think about that, holding other people accountable, even your own self?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's a good grandmotherly advice, right?
That's right.
Grandma's for Trump.
Yes. All right, take care. Take care. All right, Grandma's for Trump. We like it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You got a rough morning there, buddy.
Yeah. You got to put your mouth closer to the receiver, the talking part. Yes.
My bad, buddy. How are you this morning, Brian?
I'm doing all right.
Fantastic.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You really feel like you have Trump with this Christian meme?
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Do you feel like you have to defend Trump with this Christian?
What, do you want to be anonymous? You trying to be anonymous?
No, you already know, man. I'm just asking you a question.
I have no idea who you are.
Brian?
Yes. You know who I am. You called me.
Answer the question, please.
What's your name and where are you calling from first? Then I'll answer whatever pathetic question you may have.
Oh, jeez. Brian, it's fine.
Oh, now he's attacking Trump. You're attacking Trump for something about this Jesus meme, and then you just took the Lord's name in vain there. It's just what you just said. I mean, you. Oh. You're on speaker. I don't know if you're trying to show off for someone you're in the room with, but I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Things at once. Here, I'll make it easier for you. Are you going to always defend Trump when it comes to this Christian meme thing? I actually think it was a joke.
What do you think I'm defending him? What does he need defending from?
You have mega people calling in and saying that it's a blasphemy. Because it is. When you go...
You just took the Lord's name in vain. You just took the Lord's name in vain, and you're talking about blasphemy?
I am not a Christian, Brian.
Oh, what? You're not? What are you? No, okay, so what are if you're not, what are you, an atheist?
It's called agnostic.
You're what's that mean? Agnostic.
Hey, Brian.
What's that mean?
Piece of work. Look, are you diverting the question?
No, well, I find it interesting that I'm talking to another non-Christian who is defending Christianity.
The Pope is a good person. He's actually put there to do good things. And for him to knock him, he is a piece of work. And for him not even to say he's sorry, he is not a humble man, Brian.
You won't even say your name, and you want him to apologize publicly?
Because you want to, you're funny. You can't answer the
question. I asked you, what's your name, where you calling from? You won't tell me.
Brian?
Who's defending who? Trump needs no defense. I'm not defending Trump.
Your voice went up a couple of tones there. Listen to me, Brian. Are you going to answer anything?
I have responded to several. I have responded to several things you've said.
You haven't answered anything of what I just said, Brian.
Well, I'm not here to be interviewed by you.
I'm not. I just asked you simply.
But what are you talking about diverting? I don't know what Trump needs defending from.
Everybody listening, this is Radio 101. Somebody says something, and when a host doesn't want to answer, they come up with stupid things and excuses not to answer anything by depicting whatever I'm saying in a stupid and childish way.
Radio one. What do you know about radio to be teaching it?
I just know you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Not much. I'll agree with you on that. You don't know much about much.
I don't know much either. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, are you upset that the man doesn't even go on your show ever?
Yeah.
The day that he's gone? Thank God, Victor Orban. I'm telling you, man.
Yes.
This is just a.
Victor Orban. Yes.
Yeah, he's going to be gone. And guess what?
You know, this call of yours is right out of a psychological textbook. You know, you are so miserable that you're just going from thing to thing to try to find something negative about someone else so you can feel good about yourself.
You're not even answering the little question.
Well, first of all, Friday is open phones. Today's Wednesday, okay? It is up to me to decide what the topics are, except on Friday. Today is not Friday. And you I've got you.
Absolutely.
I got you. I've got nothing to say to you.
I know you don't.
You know, listen, you have called. This is really almost a sad call. You know, yesterday I felt really bad yesterday, right? Because there was this door-to-door salesman that came to my door, and I saw him on the doorbell, and I didn't answer the door, and I felt so bad because this guy's out there working so hard and everything else, and I felt so bad that I didn't answer the door, and this guy's just working so, and I almost feel bad for you because, you know, excuse me, see, hitting too close to home. You're worried. I know. Yeah. You've called this program many times. I've never heard. I know that's because the show's very good and very entertaining, but I've never heard you so depressed and desperate. I've never heard you so depressed and desperate to feel good about yourself.
You nailed it. I mean,
I know.
You majored in psychology when radio.
No, but I've talked to lunatics on the phone like you for thousands of times over the years.
Fan, buddy, you're a sicko.
It's yes.
Christian won't even admit when he sees something that might have not been right, and you still defend him, Brian. You have Trump derangement syndrome, where you will love that man forever, and it's sick.
Well, what do you think is most offensive? Right? The meme or someone doing what you did, which was deny Christ.
I believe this. I believe someone's faith is their own. And if somebody's going to claim their faith, like Trump does, and so do you, that when somebody posts something that basically he also insults the Pope, leader of your religion, and that man after he calls him a loser, you have Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay, whatever.
Because you will defend him against the Pope of your so-called overwhelming religion that you will blindly.
All right.
You are just a piece of work.
I know. Yes, I am a piece of work. Thank you very much. All right, now let me talk about coastal weight loss. See, you know, I'm about a quarter of the man I used to be, I guess, or close to that because of all the weight I lost. But, you know, coastal weight loss secret, I was talking with conservative Doug earlier in the show about exercise. And I see people, they just kill themselves exercising. I see this. And, you know, and I lost all this weight with zero exercise. And, you know, the reason I highlight that so much is because, one, a lot of people can't exercise that need to lose weight, right? You may have some other health conditions and you're not able to exercise, you know, and I don't want people to think they have to exercise to lose weight because you don't. I lost about 1 pound a day with zero exercise. And I still don't exercise today. But also, you know, keeping the weight off, I think what the key has been with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, with me keeping the weight off and not gaining back a single ounce, is in large part to the fact that I didn't exercise to lose the weight. Because if I had to exercise 3, 4, 5 times a week to lose the weight, how am I going to keep that up to keep it off? So since I had no major lifestyle changes, keeping the weight off has been so easy. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300 and online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Well, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6. And if you're on hold, you'll be first in line on tomorrow's show. But if you notice, the liberals, all of them were unhinged today. And that last call, that was Tom, by the way, right? Tom, Renee from Harlem, they're not doing well. You know why? Because we won the war. That's why. All right. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care.
WTJA.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I got to clear out, all right? Make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go. Take care.